That's not ideal. My fucking head is up there, bud. Whoa, where are we going? Where are we going? I'm not going where I want to go. Now, where am I going to be? That's the question. We got too much shit going on here now. We've lost all control. Now, the real question is, what is this light doing? What is it doing? Whoa. I don't know. Why am I dealing with studio lighting? Who am I? I don't know what I'm doing. All right, pause. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another therapy in the details. So I'm trying to go through, if you saw my laptop, I always write things down. I'm very meticulous when it comes to notes. I'm a planner. The OCD transfers right into planning, right into organization, right into trying to be meticulous. So anytime I get an idea, anytime something pops up that's happening in life that I think, oh, hey, that could make for a good therapy in the details video, I write it down. And then before you know it, it just turns into paragraph after paragraph after paragraph of me writing. And it's almost like I've already written a book, but I'm trying to dissect it and go through, and I want to get all these ideas out there for the world. And by the world, I mean the few hundred to a few thousand people that watch these videos each time I post. Maybe one day something will happen and something will go viral and people will go back and say, holy crap, this dude actually posted a bunch of stuff where he talked all this time, and yeah, maybe somebody will appreciate that, or maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, today's video, I think one of the hardest things I've had to deal with and come to terms with, learn to cope with, is that I can only control me. No matter how much I do, no matter how much I try, no matter how much I plan, no matter how much I try to manipulate things and environments and situations, just like no matter how much I put in, you're never going to be able to fully control things. There will always be outside influences. There's always going to be a variable that comes across, a speed bump that you just trip up on, a loose shoelace that's going to make you lose the race, a twig in the road that's going to get caught up in your bicycle's tire. There's always going to be something. And I feel like, you know, for the longest time I used to beat myself up over that and feel like I used to like, oh, why wasn't I more prepared? Why didn't I think of that? And I guess as you get older and as you start to realize that there really are things just completely out of your control, I think you try to get to a point where you're okay with the fact that there are these variables. And that's the point of this video, is that you have to come to terms with the fact that you can't be perfect. You can't control the variables. You can't control everything. Most of us can't control half of the things. Me, I probably can control more than most, but that's because I'm probably actively removing years of my life because of stress and anxiety and writing things down and my OCD-ness. So I am probably going to live less than you. So there's a balance, right? Try to figure out your balance. There's just always going to be an outside force, either intentionally or unintentionally, that's going to cause destruction or delays to your plans, your goals, your things that you are excited about. I wake up and each day, each week, each month, I try to have things that I have as set as goals, or things that I'm excited about. You know, it could be a small thing like, oh, this Sunday I'm getting something off my list. Like this Sunday, today's Friday, this Sunday I'm going to get an MRI finally on my wrist. Now, most people aren't going to get excited about that, but for me, because I'm crazy, it's one thing off my list. It's something off the list, but it's also potentially answers to questions that I've been having about, hey, why is my wrist hurt like this? You know, maybe I'm going to get an answer. You just have to plan as much as you can, stay passionate with what you do, try to continue to work hard toward your goals, prepare, but you have to be flexible. You have to be able to pivot. And I think the pivoting part is almost as important, maybe if not more important than the planning part, because I feel like there's just more curveballs than you can possibly plan for, right? So if you can't pivot, I don't see success in someone's future. I really don't. Like, I've had so many curveballs come my way, and I've tried to pivot. I've tried to reassess the situation, and I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. So there were many things where I just got slapped right in the face and knocked down. TKO, done. I do not have a perfect record, but many times I am getting better at it. I'm starting to turn into who I want to be, right? Because I'm pivoting and I'm looking at situations and I'm like, okay, this needs to have this reaction. Even though I thought I was going to do this, I have to assess it differently, right? Because this now happened, and that goes for business, it goes for friendships, it goes for family, parenting, for sure, all of it. It's the pivoting. The pivoting is immensely important. I also, I feel like you have to be honest with yourself and everyone around you with your goals, what you expect of yourself, but honestly what you expect from the people around you. I know that might come across as weird to some of you, but I have expectations. Now, if they don't meet expectations, and my expectations are high, but if they don't meet that expectation, that's fine. But sometimes I feel like if you don't let people know what you're expecting of them and the situation, or what you want to see as a result, how can anybody actually try to do that? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go into this and I'm just like, I hope this happens. Hopes and dreams don't pay the bills. You know what I mean? Like, I have to vocalize things. I have to be open to people. Thank God I'm a very social guy when it comes to that. I have no filter, good and bad things sometimes, but I'm very vocal when it comes to what I expect from the people around me, whether it be friends, family, colleagues, everything. I'm very vocal with that. So when something doesn't happen, I can sit there and, like, honestly, because I'm honest about what I expected, we have conversations. I don't go into attack mode for a goal not met. I go into, the mode where I'm trying to understand. I'm in defense, but I'm on a pause, but I'm trying to sit here and I'm trying to understand why wasn't that met, because I'm honest about it with them. We sit there, we talk, we figure it out. Same thing with the family, my kids. I expect certain behavior from them. If a child doesn't meet that behavior, you can't just attack them. You have to sit them down and explain to them, like, that's not what I wanted to happen. Why didn't you do that? What was the reason? And was there a reason that you did it this way? And, honestly, kids are a weird variable, the craziest variable. They're coming into their own. Their personalities can't be controlled. They don't even know what their personality is. They're just learning as they go. So, you're sitting there and you're, like, trying to understand something that they don't even understand themselves. So like I said, the pivoting is crazy important. But it goes right back to the fact that you can't control everything. You have to pivot. You have to plan and then reassess, pivot, and attack with another idea in mind. But I think you need to be realistic with limitations as well. And not just limitations on yourself, but around you. You can't set unrealistic goals and standards and expectations for people that they can't hit them, because first of all, nobody's going to want to be around you. And I've probably pushed friends away in the past before I've learned this about myself. I've definitely had unrealistically high expectations for some people and some things and some events and some everything. But that's, again, I'm totally messed up. I'm a strange human being. I've got a lot of problems. I don't sit here trying to say that I'm better than anybody. I'm me. And I don't think anybody should ever put themselves on any sort of pedestal, except for the fact that I'm who I am. I'm heading toward what I want to be, and I'm not there yet. And I make mistakes, but again, I'm realistic with who I am and what I want and where I'm heading, and things have been good. And I'm very blessed and happy about that. But like I said, as much as I hate to admit it, plans can change, but so can you. So I guess that's the big takeaway. You have to adapt. One of the things when I was learning how to driving is very strange. I'm not a defensive driver. I'm very much an aggressive offensive driver, but I have so many defensive tendencies, and I actually, like on long drives, I'll get a headache. My eyes start straining. I'm back and forth, like scanning everything, because that's me. Like I said, you have to have the ability to adapt to the ever-changing, ever-growing chaos that's in our daily lives. And a great example, like I said, is driving. You know, you never know. I'm glancing to the left. Is there a person coming out? Is there a ball coming into the street? Is somebody backing out? Do you think they're gonna stop? You know, you don't know, so you gotta always be ready. So now I'm on the ready. I'm ready with the pedal, I'm ready with the steering, I'm ready with the horn, I'm ready with my middle finger, I'm ready with a lot of different things that I could throw out. Usually it comes with horn, screaming, finger, and then continuing on my way. Now if they actually block me, horn, screaming, finger, stopping, window rolled down even more, radio off completely so they can for sure hear me screaming, and then bashing with my mouth, my weapon, my main weapon. I don't hit people because that's assault, but I verbally express myself. And if you know me, you know me. Sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna stop with that. You know, there's not a ton to say about the topic other than don't beat yourself up over things. Don't have unrealistically high expectations. You can have expectations, but again, if you don't verbalize what's expected or what you're wanting or what you're hoping to see, what your plans, your goals are for a situation, what you hope to see from people. If you and your team are not on the same page, and by team, it could be anything, it could be friends, family, coworkers, all that, right? If you and your team are not on the same page, there's no success. There's no way to have success. And that's also another topic where we're gonna get into is the size of your circle. I do feel like, you know, and some people could debate me on this, but I feel like the more people, the more cooks in the kitchen, it just ends up like shit. There's nothing, in my opinion, good about that. There's just too many personalities, too many opinions, too much chaos, too many variables. That's why, you know, I haven't had that many friends. I've had some good friends that have come and have gone, more gone than have come. So that's weird. Come. Nobody better be coming near me. Stop. But there's just so much. This topic could go into like a 40, 50, 60 minute long video, but we're gonna stop it here. Don't beat yourself up over things that you can't control. Stay in your lane, stay in the gear that you're in. If you wanna switch to a better gear to go a little bit faster, that's cool, but be ready to downshift, you know? Pivot, 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 pivot. Learn how to have plan A, but have B through Z and you'll be good. You have to plan. Like I said, I got my notes, I got a million different things because, you know, if one thing doesn't work out, I'm trying other things. But even though I think that one thing is gonna work out, I'm still actively putting this in my head that I'm gonna try this. Like, you know, I've got a career, but I'm doing YouTube, and do I think this is ever gonna turn into something big? No, it's not. But you never know what could happen. And I like doing it. It is a therapy thing for me as well as potentially you if you're listening to it. And you know, this is where we're at. So I get something from this, and if you got something from this, I hope that you would consider subscribing. And you know, that's awesome. Let me know down below how you feel about the situation and what also types of topics you would like to see in future videos, because I'm trying to get, like I said, if I even showed you how much, where is this thing? If I could even explain to you, I'm not even joking when I tell you I've written a lot. And yes, I do go back on my notes once in a while, because when you write things in the heat of the moment, you know, sometimes it just comes out and you're like typing, you're like, oh God, that sounded freaking chef's kiss. But then you start speaking off the cuff, which is what I do a lot, even though I have no cuffs on right now. But you never know. It doesn't always come across as what you had hoped. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're an OCD OG, I appreciate you. I hope everybody is staying happy, healthy, and humble. If you made it this far, I'd be surprised. I love you. I'll see everybody on the next one. Be safe and stop overthinking everything. unless you're me. Then overthink it, because then you might start putting notes down on a piece of paper or the computer. Do papers, you know. You can do papers too. I'm screwed up. I do that. I got apps with notes everywhere. Notes. There's notes everywhere. Do I accomplish half of the stuff? No, but I pivot. I love you.